Hey YouTube, friends and family, Fast Eddie here. Happy New Year to you. Happy late New Year to you, but I thought I'd do an update on my truck. I haven't had a video in quite some time. This ramp truck, I don't know what part we're on, but I'll look. So yeah, I hope everybody's having a good start off to their new year and had a good Christmas or whatever you do. I have big hopes and am positive for going to be, this is 2025 is going to be the start of a really good year for years to come. So we're looking at the ramp truck here. We're building the bedsides and the flat part of the truck where the vehicles and things that I haul will sit. Now this has been a long-going process of making up my mind and how I want this to go, and also a dream of mine for quite some time. So it's been a struggle in trying to make this all work out in my mind and how I think it needs to be. What you're looking at now is the way that I've come up with. This is what it's going to be. The box up there, you know, is a smaller box than I originally went with. Originally I went with a bigger box that was a little higher and a little bit deeper, but I also, you can see it right there in the background amongst my mess. It is a ProTech. It's a very good box, much better than this one here from Tractor Supply, lighter gauge. But what I had done is cut the back of it out, and I was making a drawer that slid in and out to hold my spare tire, which would have been doable, but the amount of work needed to be done to make that happen, to be able to hold something that heavy and make it work after, you know, having it there mounted, you know, with these bedsides up a little higher, and the actual height of it, I just really didn't like it, and I didn't think it was going to work. A buddy of mine came over and we talked about it, and he looked at it, and he's drove these trucks for years. His name's Curtis, and after that visit and his thoughts on it, I realized, you know, I was just fighting it, and I just needed, you know, to get the bed down lower where I thought it should be. His truck, I think his was a little even lower than that, but I want to really have that box there. I need to have that toolbox. There'll be another toolbox like that one you're seeing there on the other side of the truck. It's probably going to be about the same size. I don't know if it'll be from Tractor Supply, but it'll be from somebody, and I imagine it's going to be probably the same quality. But anyways, I'm going to stick with that size. I wanted to go with these C channel you see on the top of the bed that's past the bed sides, because I wanted to keep it an old looking traditional kind of a flat bed. This is kind of what I grew up around and what I envisioned in looking in for my project of what I wanted it to be. So give you a little bit of more stand-up view here. So the bed sides, this rear end is I believe they call it a cabin chassis. The rear end is not as wide as some other dually rear ends, which is also something I planned out in this project of building this. I didn't want a rear end that stuck out much wider than the cab of the vehicle. So what I had to do for these bedsides to work and go out to this dually here is I scored a line right here through the bedside, and then I bent it in on an angle. It's not very much, you can kind of see it there. it goes in about 4 inches on each side. So I don't think it's going to look that bad. You know, you're not going to be able to see much of it from the side. The bed sides will be the same color as the cab. I'm not sure on the flatbed. I was kind of thinking I don't want too much green. I think the flatbed is going to be black. I don't know about the toolbox being black or not, but we'll figure that out later. So these the C channel here, it will follow a straight line all the way back. So that's going to, you know, mimic a regular flatbed on the top side. I need that width for the vehicles to be able to have no problems of loading and unloading and just being on the truck. So you can see this box here, it goes in about, oh, it's over 12 inches in depth, which will accommodate my batteries, and a little bit of tools, and on the other side probably, you know, electric air compressor and stuff. What we also talked about in my truck here, now this square tubing here is just tacked in. It's tacked good, but I need to get my big welder over here and really do some heavy duty welding. But this tubing is like 2x4, and it's beefy. It's not 1/4 inch thick, but it looks thicker than 3/16, but that might be what it is. It's just herky. It's actually galvanized too. It's really heavy. Originally I thought that I would run them for the main supports and the rails of the frame, and running them lengthwise. Buddy and of mine, Curtis, and I started talking about it, and he's like, you know, I think that's a little overkill. He said, I didn't build mine that heavy at all. So this is what I did in an alternative to still using those, because I wanted to use, I didn't want to add all the extra weight, I guess is what I'm trying to say, of using these big 2x4 rec tubing in the truck, throughout the truck in large amount. I'm using them on an angle right here, and they're supporting this outward outside C channel. So there'll be pieces that I'll be using much like that throughout the truck. Of course, not there where there's a fuel tank. Also, I'm running 2 of these fuel tanks on each side. Yeah, it's coming along pretty much. This is how it's going to be, though. I mean, that's the height of the bed at the back of the cab there. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty pleased with it, how it's going. I've got diamond plate. See in the back there. What I'm going to do is have diamond plate go in about 2 feet this way and 2 feet on the other side, and in the middle I'm not sure what I'm going to be using, but I know it'll be diamond plate running 2 feet wide runners, you know, probably pretty much from front to back on the truck. Also, we talked a lot about a spare tire. Again, I noticed Curtis has never had a spare tire on his, so we talked a lot about that. I really still want to have a spare tire. You can look at that hole right there. Now the other box I had, the other problem that I had with that other bigger box was it came up higher, but the area that I built going inward there, I boxed it all in. Actually, I spent probably 3 or 4 days of work and then bagging the whole idea. So that's kind of frustrating to you when you do that. But it is what it is. And you know, when you're building a big project like this, you don't want to have any regrets when you're done, because it just, you know, and then be even deeper into the build, and to be able to reverse it is just even more work. So I bagged that idea. But what I'm saying is I had a boxed area that I had built in here, so then I want to put a winch in there, so then that was going to interfere with mounting a winch in there somewhere in the middle of the bed there. What I still would try maybe to do is the area that's going to be in between this box and the box that's over there, because they don't come in past the frame. That distance is wide enough to have a drop down box in that area to put a spare tire, I think. So I'm still planning on that. So I still want to have a spare tire. I don't know, you know, I am looking forward to using this truck and going across states for, you know, picking up whatever I want. So yeah, what else can I tell you? You know, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, you know, you got a great big shop that's unfinished, and why aren't you finishing your shop? It's a question I ask myself. Other people ask myself. I know my wife asks me probably quite a bit, but you know, I have this project here on this truck that I have been looking at and dreaming about for many years. I've been probably thinking about, you know, this shop longer, but this truck, you know, it's like the voices keep talking to me. And I needed to build something to give myself a vision of where am I going with this, and making my vision more reality, so I can see, you know, so I can see where I want to go with it. So anyways, yeah, to give you a little more info, those channels are from this truck originally. If I haven't told you about this truck before, I bought it from Eastern Washington. I bought it from an old, I don't know, he's a farmer or what he was, but he broke wild Mustangs, so he would go over somewheres in Washington and buy wild Mustangs and bring them back on this truck. It had some sort of a it was a flatbed when I bought it, but it had some sort of a corral that was built over it, and he didn't give me pictures of that. He said he tore it all off because it was all rotten, but he would go over, and it was like a livestock truck, and he would put one or two in it. I don't understand. I mean, it seems kind of wild, hauling a wild Mustang in a truck. It's not, I don't know, I'm not envisioning the picture of it, but it was an awesome story, I thought. And I'm gonna nickname this truck the horsepower hauler. So, but that C channel is from this original flatbed. This build, I have grounded and salvaged so much material from this truck. It's just amazing. These bedsides were all throwaway stuff. My neighbor gave me this white and green bed here that I've been cutting up and hacking up outside my shop here using the pieces. And the orange one came from my buddy's place that did the motor swap. And my neighbor saw the orange. He saw, you know, the bedsides, and he goes, "Son of a bitch!" He said, that orange one is my bed too. I said, that must have been a truck price. He shortened for me. So yeah, there'll be a lot of patchwork being done. You can see here, but I think it's going to be a good looking truck. And we're gonna make some headway on it here. I don't know, you know, when I'm gonna be finishing it, but I'm gonna get it to where it's has bedsides on it, and I can get it out and get it outside the garage, and, you know, and look at it some more. So we will be lengthening, you know, on the tail end of it there. It's gonna go out more past the axle. I don't know how much more, but this truck, when I started building my shop and I started thinking about this truck, I thought I'm going to have a spot in the shop for it with nothing in the front so that I can drive it all the way forward, because it's pretty much going to be not much room in the front or the back. So, and my shop's 36 feet deep, so it's going to be a long one. But don't want to be limited to things that I want to go buy. If I want to go buy a Suburban or a station wagon, you know, or I need more room on the back when I'm hauling something else, or on the front or something. So yeah, this has been a good year, beginning of the year for 2025. I'm really positive for the future. Give you a little update on the puppy. We still have the puppy. She's 6 months old now. Getting along really good with my dog Hercules. He seems to be very happy about it. Puppies are a lot tougher than I thought. If it wasn't for my wife, I might have taken the puppy back. Man, that's just like a lot of work. Not used to that. So anyways, hope everyone's doing well, and this is a ramp truck update. So have a good one, everyone.